Hi guys, this is Dee. Welcome back to my channel. Today is March 17th. If I can angle my phone so that, whoop, I sorry, got my finger in the way. Show you I'm wearing my green so I don't get pinched today. Okay, not that anybody I'm around would pinch me, but anyway. And I'm about less than 30% Irish, so I think I can qualify to wear green. Okay, well today we are going to be working on a technique I've seen done on YouTube, but I don't think I've actually ever tried. So we are going to see how it goes, and it's called the black ice technique. Now, if you live in an area where the winter gets cold, snowy, rainy, icy, blah, 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 you know black ice is not a good thing. It's a bad thing. And for those of you who aren't familiar, black ice is when roads get ice that you can't see, and usually it's happens at night when you're not able to see it because there's no light shining on it except for people's headlights. And so anyway, we don't want that, but we're going to do a pretty cool technique. Hopefully it will work well. So let me pause the camera and get it turned around, and we'll get started. Hang on. Okay, guys, I am back. Like I said, we are going to be doing the black ice technique. And to get started, I'm going to show you one of the most important aspects of black ice, and that is using a metallic cardstock. And if you can see, this is kind of a rose gold. Very, very pretty. The other player that's in this technique is pigment ink color. And so I have this black pigment ink, and I have this royal blue, and I'm going to kind of have to just decide which one I want to try, because the pattern paper I'm going to be using in this project has some blue in it. So I thought maybe the blue would be better, but actually the only videos I have seen with the black ice are black, using black ink. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me get some scratch paper in, get these moved out of the way. Now, the thing about black ice is the technique is that we are going to swipe. You know what? I think I'm going to use a little bit of both, if that's okay with you. Now this, I don't know where I got this ink pad. I hope it still works, actually. But okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to swipe this. It's not overly juicy, is it? But maybe that's okay. Let's swipe on this. I think maybe if I press a little harder, it'll work. Now, if you can see, hold this up to the camera. If you can see, there's just faint ink that has been swiped on. The edges have caught more of it than the rest of it, but that's okay. So I think I'm done with this for now. The other thing about this technique is we're going to use a stamp that is not supposed to be like an outline stamp. And so I would say this covers a decent amount of area, and this is from the Hero Arts Hero Florals stamp set. And if I turn around so you can see, it's got this lovely floral with a few sentiment stamps on here. So we're going to use that, and I'm going to set this. You know what, I better get my stamp wheel, because I don't want to have to have a mess up if I have to redo this. Okay, so I'm just going to set it in like this, because I really don't want to get it, let's see, get it in the corner here. I don't want to get my nice little sticky mat all icky. I know, Probably doesn't matter, but okay, so we have this floral, and I'm going to set it. I better make sure I'm in a good shot here. Sorry if I wasn't at first. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like this. Okay, and we'll get it so that the top of the stamp, whoop, turned around. Remember how I've told you before, this hole I consider my top. So now what we're going to be doing with this ink is we're going to be sprinkling, not really sprinkling, heavily putting on some embossing powder and then using our heat tool. Okay, there we go. That's pretty much there. Now, I think I will try the blue. And we've got a little bit of the black pigment ink in the background. And I have not used this ink pad for quite a while, but I don't, oh my goodness, hang on. Okay, I wanted to get a cloth to clean my fingers because this is a tad, it can be messy. So what I don't want to have happen is get ink blotched everywhere. And like I said, this is a royal blue. This is, I believe, an ink pad I bought at Hobby Lobby. And so it's kind of old. Okay, let's get this down. And maybe I'll use my little hockey puck wannabe. So it's down there. Let's see how good it goes. Oh, I'm gonna have to be really careful. Oh, hey, nice. Okay, I think I'm okay with this. So I'm just going to move this whole thing of, ooh, it wants to, it's sticking to the sticky mat. The sticky mat's doing its job, even though it doesn't really need to do it right now. Okay, let me get this out of the way because I don't need that right now. And we'll move this. Okay, now, something I neglected to mention before we got started. But you know what? I think I'll do my next step and then I'll say what I should have said before. We have this clear detail embossing powder. So I have this, where did I put it? Right here. Okay, I have these bigger sheets of scrap paper, and I want it to catch the embossing powder. Now, I'm putting it everywhere, and I hope I have enough in my little jar to cover everything. You know, those the black areas that we did with the black pigment ink, it will show up here too. Now, I should have gotten, you know what, I'll just use this, I think. I'll use my little pokey tool to kind of get it lifted up here and carefully holding it by the edges because there is embossing ink and powder everywhere. Okay, let's get this out of the way for now. At least as well as I can. Now, I am going to start my Wow embossing powder heat tool, and I will be running it on, I believe, the higher setting, which is the double lines here. There's a low setting, which is the single line. Anyway, so I'm going to get that started, but I'll pause the video for now because I don't think you want to listen to that the whole time. Hang on. Okay, I am back now. I paused the heat tool just so that I could, you know, talk a little bit, and then we will go ahead and do the embossing. Now I have my reverse tweezers with me, and I'm going to just hold it, maybe hold it up here. There's a little bit there that didn't get a lot of powder on it. So here we go. Hope you don't mind the noise, and if you do, you can always mute me or fast forward me. Hang on. And we'll see how this goes. My hands are a little chilly, so this heat gun is feeling kind of nice. Ooh, it's moving. It's moving. Maybe you can't see it yet, but I will show it to you. Okay. Oh, this is so pretty. Okay, now it warped a little bit, but that's okay. We can get that. Let me hold that up to the camera so you can see. Get this out of the way here. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, and you can see where, and I wanted the clear embossing powder to go everywhere. You know, a lot of times we need to, if we want to emboss something, we use our embossing buddy with the powder in it to remove any oils or anything that's going to allow the embossing powder to catch. Well, this time we want it to be caught everywhere. So we have the little bit of the black that we see here, and then the floral stamp in the royal blue. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that. Okay, let's press down a little bit on it. And I'm going to glue this onto the card as we go, so it'll be all right. Okay, well, let's bring in the other things. And my card base, I believe, is under here. Okay, my card base. This is my pattern paper that I want to use. And let's just go ahead and, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to pause this while I get my glue to work. Hang on. Okay, hopefully the glue, oh, yep, there we go. Let's get this pattern paper glued on. This is two-sided that I used, two-sided pattern paper that I used for a birthday card for either my son or my husband. I can't remember which, but it was cool. Okay, so let's get this glued on, centered as well as we can. Okay. Oh, got a tiny bit of glue there. I guess my scratch paper that I a lot of times like to have underneath here when I'm gluing, I already use, so we'll just do without it for now. Okay, now, what we're going to do next is we are going to glue this on here. But before we do that, let me just show you, let's see, I believe this is the nesting die, and I'll show you the set that I used. This is Waffle Flower. Yeah, Waffle Flower nesting squares. Actually, they say squares, but they're rectangle, so I don't know what happened there. But it's this size here that I use to cut out the rose gold rectangle. Now, the thing I want to tell you about is when you use shiny cardstock like this, if you have, and I would say 99.9% people do have, when you roll it through your embossing machine, you have all these scars from doing all your embossing before. This would be like, say, the plate that goes on top of, you got your bottom plate, you put your die and your cardstock on top of that, and then you put this on top of that. One thing that's really important is, let me get a piece of paper here. I make all my own envelopes, and so this is a scrap of white envelope that I made. So what is really important, guys, to do, you don't want this beautiful cardstock. Let me show you. See how smooth it is? It is so smooth and beautiful. But if you don't put this, let's say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to show you. So we've got the cardstock, we have the die. Let's just pretend that's a big piece. If you just put this top plate on here and roll it through your machine, you will get scarring on top of your beautiful metallic cardstock, and we don't want that. So what I'm encouraging you to do is just put a scrap paper in between the card and the die, and then put your top plate on and run it through your machine. If you do that, then it will come out as nice and smooth as it went in. Okay, so we all have these. If we who have embossing machines, our plates look like this. This is just normal, but we don't want to scar up this beautiful metallic cardstock. No way, Jose. So let's put that protective piece of paper over on top of it, and you're gonna get along great. Okay, enough of that. Enough soapbox. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this onto my card base, and I think I just want to glue it flat like this. Okay, and we'll find a sentiment to go with it. Now, because it's slightly warped, I'm going to add just a little extra glue than I would normally. Okay? And let's center this nicely. Does that look good? I think it looks pretty good. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stamp wheel on top of it as kind of a weight. Okay? So, let's get this cleaned up a little bit. We might as well do that while we're waiting for that glue to set. I'm so glad that worked. That was kind of an experiment, like I said, and I've not seen people use 2 different colors on their black ice technique. As long as the pigment ink is dark, that's and contrasting with your cardstock. Okay, so if you had like a silver shiny cardstock, metallic cardstock, I mean, and then you use like a silver embossing powder or embossing ink, it wouldn't show up as much, and I, I'm sure that would be pretty, but I think that's not what the black ice technique is about. So this is what I've seen anyway. This is what I've seen other people do, and I'm just following their example. All right, now on the stamp set, we have Wishing You Well, Congratulations, and Sending My Love. I think I'm going to do the Sending My Love stamp. And what I have to decide is, am I going to stamp it just over the pattern cardstock? I don't think it'll show up quite as well as I want. So let me get a scrap piece of cardstock and we'll go from there. Hang on. Okay, guys, I just took this smaller piece of the rose gold metallic cardstock and just cut a little piece off here. And so I think that's what we will stamp our message on, and then we'll just put it down here. And I'm just going to stamp the greeting. I'm not going to do the black ice on that. Okay, so let's get my stamp wheel out again, and we'll get this going. I think I'll work in the corner here, and we'll put this on here. Okay, and I'm going to show you, I mentioned when I first talked about the stamp wheel that you can put a stamp on the other side. Now this is not necessary for me to do because I have it here. I'm just going to put the other stamp on the back side, and then we'll be able to do our stamping and get going. Okay, I'm going to use the royal blue. You know what? I don't think I've used that stamp, so I think I better do my little rub-a-dub-dub on the new stamp to get some of that manufacturing stuff off there. Okay, now let's see if I can do this neatly. I don't know. Maybe I should put a little scrap of cardstock down over my little gold thing. My words are not coming very well today. Sorry, guys. Because I want to see how it stamps. And just a reminder, when you're stamping sentiment stamps that, you know, are not big and blocky and whatever, they can squish. Oh, that looks pretty good. They can squish and kind of splay out, and the message gets distorted. So I'm going to kind of start over. Okay. So get it dried. And if you can hear farm traffic in the background, well, we live on a farm, so that would be why. It's getting closer to spring, and when the weather was really nice last week, there was a lot of traffic. And crazy, I'm sure some of you live in the area that actually got snow this weekend, or ice, or both. We certainly got a little bit of all that. And so, here, let me get this down here. We'll do it gently. It was crazy, and then it turned crazy cold, like single digit overnight. That was last night and then Sunday night, I believe. So, okay, very good. Now, we could either leave it like this. I would want to heat it with my heat tool so that, because let me tell you, pigment ink stays wet longer, and that's why this heat embossing and with powder and stuff, that's why that works. It's different from dye ink. Dye ink dries pretty fast. This does not. So we either have to heat it if we don't want to put any powder over it, or we put powder over it and emboss it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I've got the embossing powder out, so let's just get this back out here. And because I didn't use my embossing buddy, we might have a little trouble here. And I'm gonna get this. I put it all on here, didn't I? So there's nothing in my little jar to... Okay. Struggle. Here we go. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to carefully brush off what I can see, because you know what? I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. Okay. Let's go with the heat tool. I'm going to use my reverse tweezers. And it should still be kind of hot from before. If I can get this handled in my hands right. And we'll just go from there. One reason you really want to heat up your heat tool is, first of all, it will make the embossing go faster. And secondly, your paper or cardstock, I should say, will warp less. And sometimes you can kind of do it on the back side, although I think with this metallic cardstock, it's not really doing that. Not really helping to have it be on the back side. Okay, I think I got it all. It's kind of hard to see without my... Well, I have my glasses on, and I have progressive, so you know, I can see at the bottom of my lenses, see up close, but okay, I think we're going to go from there. All right, let me move this out of the way. I will clean this up later, I promise. Oh, I left a mess, didn't I? Okay, we'll just worry about that later. Let's bring in the card. And we could prop this up, and I think I should do that. Hang on. Okay, this is a scrap of, I would say maybe not 110-pound cardstock, but it's probably 100-pound, which is decent for supporting something that you want to, you know, prop up. So let's get that. And by the way, the back of this, as you can see, of this rose gold metallic cardstock is craft paper. So I don't know why they do that, but that's very common. And let's see if I want to pop it up any more than that. I think I want to do one more little section. Give it a nice little dimension. Well, anyway, back to the weather. It's gradually warming up, and today is like, I don't know, high of 30 something, supposed to be. And by Thursday and Friday, it's going to be crazy warm again. It's just like, this is really, really crazy weather. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. So what I'm aiming for is, on these two sides, I want kind of an even-ish border. And we'll just hold it there and let it set. And then we'll be done with our Black Ice Technique card today. Let's see, how are we doing on time? Huh, longer than I thought it would be. Okay. Guys, if you like this video, please like it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Why not? It's totally free. If you wouldn't mind leaving a comment, I'd love that. I can engage with you, and then share it with a friend. That would be awesome if you would do any or all of those things. Help my little teeny tiny channel grow. Okay. One last thing we'll do, and if you're familiar with my card making, this, you'll know this is the very last thing. I probably could have done this earlier, but I didn't think about it. So many times I don't think about it till last minute, i.e. when the card is done. Okay, there we go. Handcrafted with love by, and then I sign my name. Okay, I do want people to know that I do it in love, and love making cards, love giving them, love all of it. Okay, guys, what do you think? I just want to see if that camera's picking it up. Oh, it's so pretty, isn't it? Oh, I love it. Okay, take care, guys. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are having a good day and a good week, and I hope to see you next Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Take care. Bye-bye.